Hello and welcome to Chuck's Diecast Car and Model Reviews. Today we are taking a look at the Pagani Huayra Roadster. This model is made by AutoArt and is in 1/18 scale. It's quite a good model, and of course I'll go ahead and discuss that once I discuss a little bit about Pagani, although being that you're watching this video you probably already know a fair bit about Pagani. But Pagani was a company founded by a guy named Horacio Pagani. Sounds like an Italian name, but he's actually from Argentina. But he did move to Italy and worked for Lamborghini before striking off on his own because he wanted to build carbon fiber supercars. And, well, as cool as Lamborghinis are, they are not all carbon fiber. And what he did here was he first came out with the Pagani Zonda, which does look a lot like this car in a lot of ways, and just had a more sloped nose here. Looked more like a Group C car from, say, the early 90s. And also this has a little bit more in the way of aerodynamics than the Pagani Zonda. Both of them are powered by a twin turbocharged AMG V12 motor with over 700 horsepower. So, you know, it'll get you to the grocery store pretty quickly. I've seen a few of these, both Zondas and Huayras, and they're definitely striking looking vehicles, although one could say they're almost a little bit too like blingy for me, especially in the interior. But they are great cars, and if you're going to pay over $2 million for your supercar, I imagine you want to be a little bit flashy and you want a little bit of bling anyway. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this model here, okay? First thing that you'll notice, and the first thing I really like about it is this, well, it's not a paint job, it's a decal, but this is a representation of clear carbon fiber clear coat on this car. You know, they just take carbon fiber and then put blue tinted clear coat over the top, and it looks fantastic. I mean, it's a real attention grabber. I've seen a couple of cars like this, but I've actually also seen a couple of just bare carbon fiber McLaren Sennas and P1 as well, and they just look really, really super cool. So we've got the paint. You'll also see that it has these pretty neat carbon fiber wing mirrors on stalks, and when the item arrives to you, the mirrors are actually not attached to the model because, well, the stalks are so long and delicate that they'd probably snap off in shipping anyway. The unique shape of them is due to the design basically being the shape of a tree leaf, interestingly enough. The detail here on the wheels is excellent. You can see that they're Pirelli P0s, and they're badged as such, and that's very good. The wheels look great as well, and so are the brake rotors and calipers. Looks very nice there too. You can see here the Pagani name there on that strake coming back from that vent. Now when you take a look at the front here, again, a really, really nicely executed. First of all, inside the intake there is real mesh, and it's very unique looking. The headlights are projector beams. There's really not that much detail when you have projector beams, but it does look very good, and you can see the Pagani logo there in that little basically cover for the windshield wiper motor. A neat feature about the front of this car also is that it has active aerodynamics, meaning, and these two flaps actually pop up to create more downforce, or act as air brakes or whatever, and that's pretty neat. And those moving flaps are a feature that my little Motor Max cheapo model did not have, so it's kind of nice to have that too. We'll go ahead and take a look at the rear of the vehicle here next, and you'll see here the trademark Pagani quad exhaust there in the center. It looks pretty neat. You can also see that mesh also carries over to the rear of the car, and if you'll notice, it's not just a regular mesh. It's sort of a, I guess you'd describe it as being like Art Deco in style. It's not just a regular square mesh, and that's pretty neat. And I'm sure it's not cheap either. You've got just regular bare carbon for the rear bumper, and then the Pagani badging there. And the tail lights, if you look at them, they look like LED tail lights, and that's a nice detail there as well. And of course there is the monstrous rear diffuser underneath, and so that's well done there too. And you can see here on the rear deck there is a window showing you the top of the motor, and also some heat extractor vents there too. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the motor of this car. But in order to actually get to the motor and pull up the engine cover, you actually have to open the doors, because, as you'll notice, the doors are actually undercut by this engine cover. So we'll go ahead and open those doors. And now we'll just open up the engine cover, and we can take a look at that Mercedes V12. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention something. The rear of the car actually has active aerodynamics too. And these flaps do lift up. They're kind of difficult to lift up, but there they go. You can see the active aerodynamics. Okay, now let's go ahead and open the engine bay. And also, another thing to notice is that the car has straps holding down the rear engine deck too, which is kind of neat. So, taking a look at the engine, and you'll see some excellent detail in here. Okay, you can see the sort of gold colored valve covers, I guess you'd call that. You can see the V12 there on the intake of the AMG badging. Also, there's that stiffening trusses there over the engine. There's the nicely detailed rear suspension, and shocks as well with the real springs, so that all looks great. And another kind of neat thing about this car, and another detail which my previous model did not have, is this. It's an actual opening luggage compartment. There are two of them, one on either side, and it comes with a little Pagani custom brief or suitcase, I guess you call that. I don't know if it's a real suitcase, because it certainly wouldn't fit a suit, but at least you have some luggage space in there, and that's pretty neat. And I like that a lot. I'm sure they took that idea from the McLaren F1. Okay, now this is a Roadster, meaning that the roof is removable. So we'll go ahead and remove that roof, and we'll take a look at the interior of this car. Well, let's just go ahead and zoom in here so you can see it. Again, you know, it is pretty blingy. You can see the bare carbon fiber on the front of the dash. You can see a nice detail there on the air vents and the steering wheel. The center console is well done, and the shifter there looks good also. You can see here that the seats are well executed as well. They look really, really nice. There's no real seat belt to be seen, except for the fact that it is behind the seat and it is made of fabric, so that's good. And you can see also the Pagani badging there on the door sill as well. So you can see the badging and the bare carbon fiber on the sill there too. A detail on the doors, as you can see, is pretty nice there too, with the groovy looking stereo speaker grill and everything in there. Now the front does also open as well. You can also see that it has straps there too. And there's really not much to see in here, but I'll show you. There's just, well, if you can even see it because it's kind of dark, but there's just a cooling fan in there. And really, like I said, really not much to see. Okay, so now that completes my review of the Pagani Huayra Roadster by AutoArt. And I'm just going to go ahead and show it to you with it all opened up like this so you can kind of take it all in. But if you did like this review, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.